Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Blues Deluxe. Today it's my honor and pleasure to introduce you to Mark Jacobson from KSCU, right? Radio,
Yeah, out in Santa Clara, California.
Santa
Thank you very much
Clara.
for having me on, Georgia.
And I am on UMass Lowell Radio, WUML.
Yeah, right
And
on, John. Yeah.
and your blues show is called?
Jakester's Sunday Blues Brunch.
There you go. And I just found out that's one of the reasons why we're doing this is that you are going to be receiving your KBA in next week.
Yeah, that's right. Looking forward to it. It's quite a journey to get to this point, and wasn't planned, wasn't predicted, but good things happen along the way, and this is one of those.
Well, tell me about that journey. Well, not just the journey, but how did you get the KBA? Who do you know who nominated you?
Yeah, the Bruce Eigelauer of Alligator Records, who I've been in touch with and contact with since I started doing radio in the early '70s, and been good friends with the Alligator team all along, and you know, just appreciate their input and thinking I was worthy in getting that nomination in.
Well, guess what? He did the same for me 3 years ago.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to get that love coming back our way. We I know you probably play a lot of alligator material artists over the years as I have I, and it's good to get some love back from the label there. So
Well, you have the same rep as I do, I'm guessing, since your college radio, Matt LaFollette.
yeah, exactly.
Yep, and that whole thing with me. Let me get into that. I did a live interview like this with Bruce back during his 50th anniversary, July of that year. I did an interview with him, and we talked about the whole 50 years at Alligator and how, when we started back, man, 1979 is when I started.
Right, right.
Um, we were getting records in and no one was playing them. And three of us decided in 1980 that was going to stop because we were getting too many great records coming in and no one was playing them. So we started, and lo and behold, 46, 47 years later, we're still doing it. I'm still doing it, put it that way.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's quite a run.
And Bruce, I think it was Matt. Matt was the guy that let Bruce know what I had been doing. I'm guessing he
Yeah,
probably did the same
same
thing for
thing.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Matt's good people. Yeah.
And Bruce had submitted my name in 2022, and I didn't win the first time. And then Matt mentioned in 2023, or that fall, 2022 fall, that he was going to submit again. And Kim Horton called me, the
All right.
president, and said, "Guess what? You won.
Yay! Yeah,
We'll
I
we'll
went through
yeah,
two years
we'll
too.
see you. We'll see you in January in Memphis."
All right. Yeah,
So
that's a
yeah,
great phone call.
that was great. And the first thing I did, and I'm going to tell you, first thing I did when I got to Memphis, and I went to, we were there at the brunch. As soon as I got my award, I walked over to Bruce and shook his hand and said, "Thank you very, very much." And his response was, "Well deserved."
All right.
How's
Yep.
that?
Yep. I love that.
So tell me about your show. How long have you been doing the show, and how did it all start?
Yeah, yeah. Started out actually when I was 14, believe it or not, at a 91.5 here in Silicon Valley, Santa Clara Valley area.
Same. Wow, that's the same FM
Yeah,
was
there's you
me,
guys. Yeah,
91.5. Wow.
115 is KKUP in Cupertino, and they're still going today. They're not their studio isn't in Cupertino anymore, but they're still going. And then so I started out as a freshman in high school, and I was doing a variety of music, and then got done with high school, went to San Jose State, and got busy with school and all that, and sort of got out way. Just did a substitutes at KKUP once in a while, and then once I got through all that and got down the road and started taking some graduate level classes at Santa Clara U in '84. They have a radio station there, and I started poking my head around there, checking out what they had going on, and started out doing a jazz show actually. And then after about a year of that, found a couple other like-minded folks. Said, hey, we need to get a blues show going here, and we got the program manager to okay it because I was back back when radio was like still a pretty much a big deal.
Oh yeah.
No internet, no streaming, none of that. So so I was good to
It was
allow that.
album oriented radio back then. FM radio
Oh
was.
yeah, yeah, and anybody was sort of like the jazz. They had a jazz programming on the weekend that was pretty tightly programmed at the time, and so that was to get that exception was great. And we started off 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So that was always fun. And outside, and the other DJ that was into doing it was Brian Hinkle, and we started off sharing it because 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Saturdays can be a little rough, right? So
yeah,
it's not always the
but that's
best
a great
time.
that's a great time to do a radio show. By the way,
It is.
10 to
Oh
2.
yeah, because you can really do all kinds of interesting stuff and get interesting phone calls, and it's sort of you can be running the party remotely, so to speak, depending. You get people call up, and there you go. There's nothing else on the radio, but you're on it. Keep doing what you're doing and playing a lot of those great classic tunes from the '50s, early
But
'60s.
we used to have a show that was on from 10 to 2 that part of it when we first started the Blues Deluxe show was a 1 hour pre-recorded part of his show, and he had a thing called Midnight Rock Classics that he used to do on his show.
Oh great.
And Blues Deluxe was also part of that for a little while until he left. He worked at a radio station in Maine after he left the university, and he was there for 20 years doing rock music up in Maine, WBLM in Maine, in Portland, Maine. And then three of us who were still at school decided, let's see if we can use the stuff that we were getting from Blacktop and Alligator and Delmark back then on record. And man, oh man, we started to get a great listening audience, and it was crazy how crazy people were for the music, wanting to hear it. And then I left for a little while. I started it, the full-time show. I left for like 5 or 6 years, and it was still going. We still had people were still doing it. And then I got a phone call, 1992, I think it was, or 91. And they said, well, we're not going to we can't do the show anymore. Do you want to take it back? And I went, it's not going anywhere. I'm taking it back, and it's going to keep going for as long as I can make it go. And it's been on ever since.
Excellent.
So
yeah,
we started it in 79, 80, and it's still going today.
Yeah, that's great. And that was the golden era, so to speak, because you had all the legends were still alive.
Yep.
And most of them were playing at the top level through the early '90s. And yeah, I remember, like you mentioned, the Blacktop label. They were going strong, and and all those great folks out of New Orleans and so on the label. And and of course Alligator with all their stable of great artists, or like just there's just so much great material to work with. And it's sort of sad that it wasn't being played anywhere else, but mostly on community and college radio. But
Yep.
we were. It's not like you and me were both representing, getting it done. You and
Yep.
your colleagues there were representing and getting the music out so people could check it out. And then you probably had. I remember hearing about a lot of different venues in the Massachusetts back in that time frame.
Yep. Oh yeah, there
And
was lots of them.
we had a whole bunch too. And then things evolve, right? And then there's not as many places for folks to play, and all
Well,
sort of.
what happened was you had AM FM radio back then, and FM was like I said, album oriented music. So you could hear blues, you could hear jazz, you could hear folk, you could hear all kinds of things all day long, all day and all night in college radio. Whereas regular radio was just what was being played by the major labels. So you and I got to play all the stuff that the major labels didn't really care about at that
Yep,
point.
yep. Didn't want to invest in. Yeah, so it was a great time, and through that era, we had more slots open up, so to speak, at this show, and
Yep.
I trained 15 plus DJs over the year, and two of them are still going at KSCU. Some are, I moved on to other stations and such. So, like, proud to have that legacy of having brought new folks
Well,
into the fold, and
then there was a
a lot
period
of stuff.
when radio kind of went away, where people our age weren't there wasn't anything on the radio for anybody to listen to. And guess what? I had a niche audience after that of people
Yeah,
um, in their 40s, 50s, 60s that were listening and going, "Oh, great! There's still radio I can listen to."
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And even today, it's like people are hungry for new blues stuff that's coming out. It's
yep,
great.
yep. And you got to dig a little harder because we don't get them. We don't get them in the mailbox as much. You got a lot of them just going right to Spotify or whatever. So you
Yeah,
got to
well,
look
a lot of
around
it
and
comes emailed to me, so I save
or
it
email.
all. I save a lot of it, and
Yeah,
um, the whole interview thing. I'll get into that in a little bit. Tell me about when you started, and how was it you, or was it more than one person that were doing the show?
yeah. Myself and a fellow named Brian Hinkle were
Yep.
the started the show off in '85 when it became a dedicated blues show, and through the years, I've had other. Brian moved on and to other things, and then I had other folks come in, and we share the
Well,
show.
last year was 40 years for you.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, and it's like I say, it's something you don't plan on because it's we're volunteers. It's
Yep.
we get paid through the love of the music and being around it and plugged in with it. But it just sort of happened to work out. I've been in the same area, and I've had the time and understanding wife and girlfriends that I could do this, keep it going, and in terms of having to be able to make the time to do it. So so yeah, it's been quite the journey, and I'm still happy to. It's a fun. I don't know if you want to call it a job, but it's a fun. It's a fun.
Yeah, it's not a job.
To
It's not
do.
a job. It's fun.
That's a fun thing to do and be involved in, and it's hopefully it keeps rolling on. I know it'll keep going on. People, there's a time where they said, like you mentioned, that if all that terrestrial radio was going to go away, it was all just going to be like Sirius on the satellite and then streaming, but it all comes. It never really went away. It's sort of like the vinyl thing. All of a sudden, we got vinyl again. It's like
Yep.
it's coming back. It's people. There's value. People get the understand what the core value. The value core stuff that's got makes sense to and has keeps has that connection, right? You can make a connection with somebody versus there's a zillion playlists out there, but you don't have that connection with that disc jockey that knows their area, knows what's going on, and can tell you what's happening where and all that. So, and social media has helped with that quite a bit because people always used to never, recognize you before you social media. Now they go, oh, yeah, they recognize you out places and you can talk to them. Oh, hey, I listen to your show and so on and so forth. So that sort of has made an interesting evolution to the whole deal.
So
But
people can listen to you on Sundays, right? It's on Sundays.
yeah, well, yeah, this Sunday I'll be there 9 a.m. Pacific time to 1 Pacific time. Well, maybe I might sneak out a little early because I got to go watch the Niners play their last game. But I
And then you got to get. Then
think
you
the
got to get
Patriots
on.
are going to do pretty good. I got my money on the Patriots this Sunday. So
And then you got to get on a plane, right? After that.
yeah, and then luckily this year it's not supposed to snow. It's supposed to be about 50 degrees daytime high and about 30 degrees overnight. So
Have you been to Memphis?
it's been like I was probably a senior in high school. It's been a long time. So looking forward to getting back there.
It's fun. It
Visit.
was
So
fun. It was fun when I went. I had never been, and it was like driving in and seeing all the places that Sun Studios and Stacks and all that stuff. You drive in and then you get to Beale Street and you see Beale Street and it's like, wow, crazy.
oh yeah. It's looking forward to that. I've been to New Orleans several times, and yeah, I just know how you go in those areas where it's dedicated music, and that's what that town's really about and known for. It's a different thing than where the area I live in here, which is I'm in another vibe altogether over here in Silicon Valley zone. So looking forward to it.
So you ready? You got a speech
Uh, I'm working. I got the concepts in my head, but it's only 5 minutes, right? So
Yeah.
it's not like you gotta get up and talk for 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And
I gave them a little history of the show and why I do the show and some of the things that we've done over the years. Some of the reasons why I got the award for some of the things we've done along the way. Um, and then I talked to COVID is another thing that I wanted to tell you about. That
yeah.
COVID was a turning point for me in this radio show. Whereas at first we couldn't do it. I couldn't go in and do the radio show at the university because we were locked down.
Right. We everybody went through that. Yeah, we had that same.
And our engineers just figured out a way for me to do it online through a
Ah, nice.
through a program called radio.co, which is from the UK.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
And I
makes
was
sense.
doing the radio show from my house. And then we had to figure out how to do these interviews because
Right.
you can't do phone interviews like that online. It's not easy.
Yep,
So
exactly.
this is how I found out how to do this is we use this program that you're on with me right now, and I could bring as many people onto this as I wanted, and I was able to record them. So guess what? There's all these musicians out there that are sitting around not being able to do anything, and I used it to my advantage and to their advantage.
Ah, phrase. Light
And
bulb came on. Nice. Brilliant.
and and guess what? I couldn't stop it. There was so many people that wanted to do it because they had no avenue or venue to promote themselves. So
Right.
and I was doing them all over the world. Interviews
Yeah.
with musicians all over the world.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Why not?
And I, we I worked with a gentleman by the name of Conrad. War is his name. He's actually going to Memphis. He's going to be there.
All right.
You should go say hi to him if you see him. He's in a band called Bees Deluxe,
Oh, okay.
and they're competing at the IBCs. They're here from Boston, the Boston area, and he does some of the promo for me for some of the. He actually put up a promo for you for this interview that's going up when the YouTube when this goes up on YouTube. Oh, not this weekend. When he comes back, basically.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That's good to know. Yeah. Thanks,
Um,
Conrad.
yeah. Well, if you see, you see Bees Deluxe, go and introduce yourself to Conrad. He knows who you are. But yeah, he got me started with, trying to do this overseas, and it was crazy how these musicians jumped at the chance to do this. You wouldn't
Excellent.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
believe it. It was crazy to
Yeah,
the
like you said, everybody's sitting around twiddling their thumbs, waiting out the doom and gloom.
right. What am I going to do? That was the whole my question. I said to him, "Well, what are you doing?" I don't know. Was the answer I was getting. You know, you know, I can't go out and play anywhere. I'm trying to do something online to make some money, and on and on and on and on. It never ended. It was great. And then I did an interview in Australia. It was crazy.
All right. Yeah, they got a lot of great
They
blues
have great
musicians down
blues.
there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and I did one with a gentleman in Italy. I did one in Germany. I do them now, even now, all over the
Of
world.
course.
Last week I did a guy named Brooks Williams, who was here in Massachusetts in the late '70s, early '80s, and he's in England now. And he and I did a 1 hour interview last week, just like this.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, why
Um,
not?
so, giving
Good
you an
stuff.
idea, you want to use this. It doesn't
Yeah.
cost anything to do this.
Yeah, whereby.com.
Yeah, just get yourself set up, and there's a fee to record it, which I pay. It's worth every penny of it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And
Because people don't realize when we do these live interviews, try and do them at the studio, and you have a musician, they're out on the road.
yeah, it's
They're
hard.
usually, it's early, and then being Sunday morning, it's like
Yeah, they
11,
don't
even
want to
like
do
11
it.
a.m. or noon. It's too
Yeah,
early,
they don't
and
want to do it. It's too early.
yeah,
So let
so
me let me tell you some horror stories you and I were talking about
yeah,
doing this, okay?
yeah,
Curtis Salgado calls me on his cell phone, and we're doing the interview, and he drops in the middle of the interview,
ouch,
and I have it's dead air, basically dead air. You know what that's like, right? With radio, dead air.
yeah,
So
not
I
good.
have to fill the time while I'm waiting for him to figure out how to get back on. He gets back on, and he maybe 10 minutes he's off. He drops again because he's driving. He's in the middle of somewhere driving.
Right, right, yeah,
So I try to do these with people that have a computer so they can log in, and it's simple.
oh yeah,
Issues with sometimes with audio not working on a phone, or audio not working on a computer, or they're trying to figure out how to get on. That's why I have
gotcha.
to give you a phone number, because sometimes they can't figure out how to get on.
Right, right.
And it's been fun. It's been an adventure doing this way. But when I've got some killer interview, you should check it out. Go to my YouTube page. It's
Yeah, yeah, have to check it out. Yeah.
WUML/Blues Deluxe, one word, and they're all there. I got all kinds of great. I did an interview with, I don't know if you know him. His name is Joe Ualey. He was the drummer in John Mayall's band for like 30 years.
Oh wow. Yeah.
He lives in California, and I did a over an hour interview with him, and the stories he told on the interview was crazy.
What era was he with Mauler?
In the 70, late 70s and 80s.
Okay, yeah, that was the wild times. Yeah, we had Walter Trout and
Yeah, he was talking about all of that. I mean, Buddy Whittington and Walter
uh,
Trout and Montoya were in the
Montoya. Yeah,
band, and he told the
yeah.
Peter Green story because he had spent some time with Peter Green,
Oh wow.
and yeah, it was great. And then Kim Simmons, before he died, from Savoy
Oh, yeah,
Brown, I did a great interview with him. I mean, there's tons of them. You should go check
yeah,
some of them out.
yeah. That's great. Yeah, I know Kim was really good at phoning in. And we talked to him on the phone. But yeah, that I like to hear more of what he's got to say. Yeah, in
And
memory of.
you should
uh,
do some like this, like I do. It's fun. I mean,
Well, yeah, pre-records. Yeah, been leaning that way to doing the pre-record thing. It's
so
just a better way to
basically, what
handle it.
happens is I pre-record audio, video, so I have the audio and video, so there's
Right.
proof of it, so people can see it. And then when I rebroadcast on the radio show, it's only audio. It's
Of
not
course.
video.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Got it. Yeah.
anybody that wants to see the interview and hear the interview, all I have to do is go to YouTube, the YouTube page, and they can watch the whole thing. I did Deborah Bonham, John Bonham's sister, over in
Oh
England.
wow.
That
Interesting.
was another great interview. I mean, there's a ton of them that I've done over time. Um, Brooks Williams was great last week. He was interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Check him out. Yeah.
he um, he played with Tom Rush at Newport. He was talking about that.
Wow, that's a golden oldie. That was a while ago. That's
Yeah, and
a
and
long time
and
ago.
I've interviewed Tom Rush. There's Tom Rush interviews I've done with Tom Rush, asking him all kinds of questions about his history. Um, I'll interview.
Does he still play locally out there? Or?
Yes, he does. Oh, yes, he
Uh,
does.
yeah, because I know we have guys like that were big in the '60s, '70s. They just play locally now because they're not either financially or the health condition to go out and about. So I figure most regions of the country probably got some legends from the past that are to play locally every so often. And
Well, you must have a few.
oh, we've got a bunch. And it's like I was out in Massachusetts last summer, sadly for a funeral, but I was hoping Ronnie Earl was going to be playing, but he only plays so few times a year. It's really hard to catch him. You almost have to make a dedicated trip to catch him because he doesn't play much anymore. Which I get, people get older and it's just tough to be
Yep.
out and doing all
He's
that.
around. He's around playing. Not a lot, but he is.
Yeah.
Um, you ever come back here, you should come and visit me. Come to the radio show and hang out with me sometime.
Yeah. I'm supposed to come out for a family event around Memorial Day weekend, so I'll have to get in touch with you when I got that all dialed in.
Yeah, if we can work that out, I'd love to have you come do radio with me.
That'd be fun.
I'll get you one of
Okay.
my. These are the original T-shirts when we started. I have some.
Excellent.
I can get you one if you want one.
Okay. Oh, nice. Cool.
How's that?
I got to print up some more shirts. I've been sort of ran low on those, but I need to. Yeah, but yeah, it looks cool. Nice design.
So you should you
But
you should do the interviews too, because it's a lot of it was a lot. It's a lot. I couldn't believe it. We started them in 2021, March of 2021, when we were gone and couldn't do anything,
right. Yeah.
and it blew up. I couldn't believe how my show became even more popular. I mean, we were only 1,700 watts, something like that. We go maybe 60 miles. And then all of a sudden we were able to get online. We're online now, and all of people all over the world listen to the show now. It's crazy.
Excellent. So do obviously you probably don't play the whole interview through. You probably have some musical sections you put in
No, I play the
like
whole
that.
thing, the whole
You play the whole
interview.
thing through.
Yeah, all the way through.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I play it all the way through. If it's more than 60 minutes, sometimes I'll break it up, but I will give a whole hour to an interview and let it play. So
Wow.
people get to that was the other thing. A lot of
Right.
listeners want it, they listen to these people, but they don't know anything about them other than the music.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm able to pull things out of these guys, stories in
Sure.
history, and the listeners love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's
And
yeah.
then
It's
the other thing
and
that
we
I
have Elvin Bishop out here, and it's like he's talked to Elvin, and he's yeah, he's big into growing. He has big into growing tomatoes and gardening, and
yep,
it's just stuff you wouldn't know about if you didn't have
ask them.
those
Right.
conversations like that.
And
So
I did an interview with him which was pretty cool, asking him all kinds of stuff. Um and usually if it's a new artist like on Alligator or even Blind Pig, the label's back. What I'll do is I'll try to get an interview set up, and then I'll feature the CD, their new CD, right after the interview. I'll do a half hour interview. I'll keep it to about 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I'll play their whole CD right after it to promote
okay,
it.
nice. Wow. There you go.
So just to give you an idea of the things I'm doing with the show, and now I'll tell you a little story about the international part of it, which was crazy. J.T. Lawrenson and his band, the Buckshot Hunters, they're from, I think,
Okay.
Norway.
Okay.
They came and played on my show because they were friends with a guy named Dave Fields, a guitar player in New York City.
Oh
Dave,
wow.
Dave connected me and said, "Hey, we're coming. We're going to be playing locally with JT Lawrence. You want us? Can we come in and play on the show?" I go, "Yep, you can." When they came, JT called his wife in Norway on his cell phone while he was at the radio station.
Yeah.
Okay? He hands me the phone, and I said hello to her, and I could hear my radio show.
Wow. There you go.
And I handed the phone to my engineer, the engineers that we have, and
Yeah.
I said, here's proof. We're live in Norway right now.
All right. Yeah, the magic of the internet and
Yep.
streaming is. I think that that probably got me re-inspired.
Yep,
As
it
it
did. Me too.
when it got going there in the late '90s, early 2000s. Yeah, because all of a sudden you can reach a whole new audience, and you're now a global show
Right.
and have a global perspective. So
Well,
that was
here's another
really
one. I
yeah.
was interviewing Ronnie Earl. You talk about Ronnie Earl.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I'm interviewing Ronnie Earl, and I get a text message from someone in Australia wanting me to ask him a question. How do you like that?
There you go. Yeah, can't. Yeah, that's stellar. I
So,
mean, I watch like Rosa's Lounge out of Chicago. They live stream a lot of their shows on
yep,
towards the weekend, and I usually turn the comments off, but when you see it on, you see people from around the world pop up on there, checking in, and
yep.
it's pretty magical. It's
So you never know who's listening to your show. That's the other thing. It's like,
yep. Oh yeah. Keep it positive. That's always helps, right? That's
yep. Well,
yeah,
you have to. You have to stay
yeah,
neutral and be
yeah,
positive about
yeah.
everything.
Sure. Yeah.
So, how does it make you feel to think that you reached this pinnacle? It was crazy for me. I couldn't believe it when I found out.
Oh yeah. It's hits you a lot of different motions, different directions. Because it's like you've probably done this. Even if it's a small hill, you climb up on top of that hill and you can see everything around you and go, wow. It's I didn't think I'd have enough to make it up here, and it's like you go, wow. It's just it's first, yeah, you get a little overwhelming at first, and you sort of like settle into it and go, yeah, it's nice to be recognized for the time,
Yeah.
effort, energy you've expended, because it's not like, say we don't get a paycheck out of this. Nobody's going to give you.
Right.
This is our equivalent of a gold watch, I guess. So,
Well,
it's
it's equivalent,
yeah,
just like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's the
yeah,
Blues Hall of Fame.
yeah, yeah,
It. I mean, I didn't look at it
yeah,
that way until I actually got there and saw Blues Foundation on the wall and all the musicians that were sitting there. Well, I got my award. That was even more fun to see.
yeah. There you go. You're the one up on stage for a change.
Right. And it didn't hit me until what it was until they handed me that heavy plaque. Wait till you get it. You're gonna have to find a way to get it home.
Yeah, I noticed Kimberly had a little note about that.
Yeah, you can either have it sent or you can bring it with you. I don't know if you can bring it on the plane, but I had someone get a load of this. One of my listeners who've been with me for a long time, he drove down from New Hampshire
Wow.
to see the ceremony, and I gave him my award and said, "Drive it back."
All right.
And he did. He came and brought it to me the next week. And
There you
but yeah, I think it costs money to take it on the plane because it's heavy.
go. I'll have a big suitcase. I'll make sure I have extra room.
Yeah, and if you come, well, you'd probably fly. We couldn't take it with you flying. I'd say bring it. We'll take a
Yeah.
picture with both of our awards.
Yeah, yeah, we can Photoshop them together. I'll take a picture out here, and you
Yeah,
can
I've
Photoshop
already
them
done it
together.
with some of the other winners here in Mass. Some of the White Mountain Boogie and Blues Festival, the guys that put that on. I got a picture with them. Chan's in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, the club
Yeah,
in
that's the famous club. Yeah, out there. Yeah,
John Chan and I got a picture of ours together one night. Um, it's pretty cool.
yeah. That's sounds like fun. Yeah. So what festivals are your like top three or so every summer out there that are still thriving and you try and get
Oof.
to? Or
The White Mountain's a big one. The one that Paul Benjamin puts on up in Maine, the North Atlantic Blues
yeah,
Festival is big.
I've heard a lot about that one all over the years. Yeah.
Um, the Gloucester Blues Festival that Paul puts on as well in Gloucester, Mass, is getting bigger every year. Um, there's a lot of not a lot of local clubs right now that back when the House of Blues was here,
I
the
actually went to a
actual
show there. Believe it or not, way back
the
when.
one in Cambridge, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That place was great, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
People
Yeah. That
don't
was.
realize that was a real house that was the House of
Yep.
Blues was in. Now it's in a big facility behind Fenway Park.
Ah. Okay.
It's still here,
Yeah.
but
It,
it's in a very
yeah.
large facility. Actually, it was I forget the name of what it used to be called, but it was called the Metro for a while. There's a bunch of names that it was, and the Boston Tea Party was also part of that. That's where
Right.
Fleetwood Mac. I mean, Peter Green used to play with Fleetwood Mac at the Boston
Right.
Tea
Right.
Party, and a lot of bands back then.
Oh yeah. That was a well-known. See a lot of bootlegs from the late '60s and early '70s from there. Yep.
Yep. But yeah, the two big ones is the White Mountain is big every year. The North Atlantic is pretty big, and Gloucester's the other one. There's three of them.
Ah, excellent.
We used
Yeah.
to have the Boston Blues Festival, but that was it was at the Hat Shell in Boston, but that's no longer.
Yeah. We've
That,
got the Fountain Blues Festival out here, which is probably one of the longer running blues festivals in the country at like 40 plus years now. That's out of San Jose.
yep,
So that's a good one every year. And then, yeah, like I say, there's, you know, like you said, the San Francisco Blues Festival, and that faded out after the '08
yep.
crash, financial deals. And so I get it's a tough business doing the festival, putting those on and going through all the financial constraints and how things have changed behind all that. But glad we still have the local one here in San Jose every summer. So they always have really good artists there, and they keep, it's good. I always give them ideas. I know a lot of listeners give them ideas, and they evolve and implement them to some different degree. So yeah, it's
And you had a
but
club that was there, Biscuit and Blues or Biscuits.
Biscuits and Blues is still going real strong. They're back. They had a few year hiatus while they're getting some maintenance issues handled and got that squared away, and they're off and running, bringing in national talent all the time. And then locally in San Jose, they're up in San Francisco, and then we have in San Jose, we got the Poorhouse Bistro, bringing not only great local talent, but they'll bring in some touring artists from time to time. And then and then there's some other. We have Yoshi's in Oakland. We'll bring in
Yeah,
major blues talent, and there's a place out in Livermore, Almost Famous wine company that brings in named touring bands. So it's good to have good evolution because with it seems like now we're coming to this post COVID areas, and I'm sure you've got where you're at a lot of venues and restaurants are a lot of dynamics and people leaving the business, some new folks
yep,
coming in.
yep.
Sadly, more leaving than coming in, but it's just the ebb and flow of the time we're in. So but yeah, we also we have a club or it's like a restaurant. There's a lot of restaurants are present music. We have Little Lou's over in Campbell that do have their great Thursday night pro blues jam for many years. But it
Yeah.
seems like I say it's part of usually like a restaurant environment, and it's not. It comes in and it's there like one or two nights a week.
Yeah, we used to have Debbie Davies out here living in Connecticut. Now she's back in
Oh yeah, she was out
California.
there for quite a while. Now, area. She comes up this way once a year, do some shows up this way.
Yeah, and the guitarist that I know from San Jose, originally from San Jose, is Laura Chavez.
Yep. She's playing tonight
Is
in
she?
Redwood City with Chicken Bone Slim. We'll try
Yeah,
and get out to that one.
she knows me. She's
All
played.
right.
She's come out here and played on my show.
Wow. All right. And of course, you know about Kid Anderson,
Kid
Chris
Anderson.
Anderson.
Yep.
Yep, he's actually lives in San Jose, probably about 7 miles from here. Has the Greaseland Studios
Studios. Yep.
set up and all that, and
Yep.
I was happy to be invited last year to their end of the season get together party music extravaganza, if you will, last October, and
See what you get for nothing, for not for doing it for
yeah.
free.
There
That
you go.
those are the perks you get.
Yeah, well, those keep like I say things like that keep you inspired, and it's good to meet and talk with musicians in a casual environment and all that. So it's
Well, Laura
like
came out here in 2003 with the band she was with, which was the Lara Price band, who's also from that area,
right.
and they came and they just killed it. I
Oh yeah.
recorded. I have a live recording of it, all of it, when they were
Oh,
here,
excellent.
and that's the other thing I didn't mention to you. We started doing that when I came back in the 90s, 93, 94. They had built a live studio within the radio station.
Ah, nice.
So now I do live bands when I can in the studio. bring them in, and they play, and we give them a recording,
Oh,
a
okay. Yeah.
multi-track recording,
Wow. Nice. Uh,
because the university has a sound recording major. So I have the SRT people who are going to school doing live sound for me during the show.
oh, okay. Yeah. Can't beat that. That's a great learning experience for them, and it's great, to capture those bands at that point in time in a friendly environment. So,
Yeah, I've had national acts in, international acts in, and local bands that promote the local. The best part is the local bands. They can't afford to go out and spend money for a high quality recording. They come in
right,
and we
right.
give them one.
Oh, yeah. That's a great. That's a incredible public service. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
So that's another way I give back to the bands.
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
We don't have that going on yet, but that's a good idea.
it's a win-win in
Oh,
all
yeah.
ways. I mean,
I
you
mean, I've
know,
had some musicians in our studio, but you can only do so much in the regular studio because you don't have the setup, right? So having
I've
that
done a lot
dedicated
of
setup
things
is
that I've
huge.
done a lot of things like that where I have them come in on two mics and we get a great recording, even though
Yeah,
it's
but
not
you have to
multi-track.
be pretty much acoustic
Stick.
electric, and yeah, it's a whole different angle, but it's doable. We've done it over the years with different musicians. Yeah,
So
that's
where do you see your show in the next 5 years?
yeah. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing. You know, the, like I said, it'd be good to have the option of, at the school there to do some live recordings and have that available. And but otherwise, yeah, the show's going to keep rolling. I have my colleagues, Bonnie Margaret Ross and Gil De Leon, that we take turns doing the show, and uh, we used to have more hours. Right now, we've have a jazz fusion show follow us, which is fine. So, but it'd be good to have other folks pick up and do a show maybe during a weeknight or that type of thing. So just try and grow our footprint, so to speak, on the station. And other than that, pretty much keep doing what we're doing and more of it. And, it
It's good.
seems to be a pretty good mission. So all along here so far, and but like I say, there's a lot of with everything evolving all of a sudden a lot faster with the I know it's funny because I used to use the term AI a couple of years ago. Hey, DJI, when we were station was down, we couldn't get into the building. We'd say, hey, DJI is doing a playlist, and then 2 or 3 years ago it's sort of funny, but now it's like people are like, huh?
Yeah.
They're a little more taken aback because all of a sudden it has more serious connotations, right?
Yep.
And so, but like I say, we'll see where things how it all evolves. But we plan to keep doing our basic. What we've been doing is presenting, mostly a lot of new music, uh, bringing in artists that tour through the area, giving them a platform to get info out about their show, and through interviews and all that type of thing, playing their music and help them out. And let's follow that yellow brick road that we've been doing. So it's been a good path. It's been good. It seems it's been working for everybody in the mix. So
Yeah, and you're in the middle of a big blues area anyway.
yeah, it's appreciated uh, genre, if you will. It's a lot of it stems back going back to the Fillmore days when
Yep.
they'd have Albert King opening for whoever the hot new rock band of the day
Yep.
was, and and people got exposed to Albert King, Albert Collins, and Freddie King, and BB King, and so on.
Yeah,
back
Luther
in the day.
Allison used to play those
Yeah,
too.
Luther Allison. Yeah, I mean, everybody. The Bay Area was definitely a key stopping place. We used to have a little club called JJ's Blues in San Jose. That even though it was the size of a shoebox. I mean, I interviewed people like Tinsley Ellis. We talked with him. My fellow DJ Gil was talking with him a few weeks ago, and you remember JJ's? It was just one of those places that had a vibe to it,
Yeah.
and the Poorhouse Bistro, well, they did just move, but their old location was another place that they had developed that vibe. It was like a cool place to play. I need to get major touring bands that want to play there because it just had that vibe. Right, it wasn't a cookie cutter situation. It was a dedicated room and had the feel. The people who worked there, everybody was into it, and so. But yeah, this area is the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. Like I say, it's got a lot of legend and the evolution of modern music
Yep.
of different flavors and such. So it's been like I say, and that is really good for keeping us radio programmers motivated because there's always something exciting, new shows coming in or something going on. I know you have similar in the Massachusetts area, and I think because having all the different colleges there, you know, you have younger people more seem to be more into going out to live music and
Yep.
that even in the era of the iPod. Because what's interesting phenomenon we've had at KSU is that when the iPod started coming out, I think it was about 15 years ago. The first couple of years after the iPod was hitting, and the online or streaming or people doing their own playlists for themselves kind of thing was real big. We had a huge drop off in the amount of students that were wanting to do shows at the station. And in the last 5 years, all of a sudden it's like back up where students are a lot of them they only have 1 hour to do it, 1 hour show, and they're happy to have that. And it's interesting how, at least at the Santa Clara University, that the popularity of live radio has taken off again, which is good to see, because for a while, like I said, we had a lot of gaps and a lot of, the robo DJ thing going on
Yep.
because there weren't that many students on campus interested in doing shows, but it's reversed in the last 5 years. I don't know if you're seeing something like that where you're at or.
Well, yeah, I used to have two shows. I did 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, for a while, and then it
Wow.
yeah, it was I had to get I gave it up because we had a Cambodian radio show. It was the only Cambodian radio show on the whole eastern seaboard,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
and they asked me if they could take my 3 hour slot, and I said yes. Your listening audience is much bigger than mine because
Yeah.
they were all listening from over there, a lot of them.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So I said, yeah, you can take my Sunday, and I've had Saturday the whole time. So
Yep. There you go. How about just in general? Are you seeing more interest from the student
yeah,
population in doing
yeah.
shows?
Right now there's a lot of interest with students. There wasn't, it dwindled like you said for a while, and then all of a sudden now it's gotten even better.
Yeah. So yeah, it's sort of like I say, it's sort of like the vinyl records coming back is being of interest, popular. Yeah, like I say, for a while there, it was like, I mean, we got pretty, skinny, and we're at a private university, and they're always looking at, okay, we've got, you know, 10 students and 25 people from the community, we're paying to keep the station afloat. Do we keep it going or, and so I'm glad they did because there was a time out here where a couple of universities sold their
Yep.
frequency uh, to corporations and such but it's good they decided to hold on to it. And like say now you have this rebirth, which is great to see of interest from students and younger folks doing a live radio show. So
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's still a lot of fun for me after all these years, just like you said it is.
Yeah, so and I think it's good that people, the young people try it and explore it, and and once like say, then you gotta be careful because you might get bit by that radio bug and be like us, be doing it for
Yep.
close to 40 odd years. So yeah, get bit by that radio bug.
So I just want to say thank you again and congratulations on your upcoming award next week.
Yep, thank you very much, John, and congrats to you on your getting yours a couple of years back in 23, and
Yep.
keep on doing what you're doing, and
So tell everybody how they can find out about you.
yep. So yeah, we're at kscu.org. We stream off the website there, and there's always the Radio Garden where you can punch in KSCU, find us, and we're on Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is noon to 4 p.m. Eastern time, and yeah, so tune in, check it out, and if you got any feedback, we're always open for feedback or request input, and you can email us, message us, all good stuff. We're on Facebook pretty heavily, KSCU Blues on Facebook. Their social media platform we're on predominantly.
Great. So good luck next week. Enjoy your time in Memphis and say hello to everyone.
Yeah, we'll do.
And
Yeah,
let me
I'll drop
know.
your name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kim Horton knows who I am, the president,
Oh yeah.
and Bruce, I think, remembers who I am.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That is pretty good. I'm sure he does. Yep. Yeah.
and then when you come Memorial Day weekend, let me know. You have my phone number. You have all my info.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me know, and we'll set something up. You can come in. Maybe I'll have a band come in that day, so you can see that happen.
All right. That'd be fun.
Send me your t-shirt size and address, and I'll send you one.
Yep. We'll do.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you again, and like I said, congratulations. It's a great honor to what you just got
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
getting.
Thank you very much. Yeah. It's much appreciated. I'm humbled and honored, and yeah, it's just yeah, really appreciate the acknowledgement
And look
from the
forward to
Blues
meeting you soon,
Foundation.
one of these days.
Yeah. Same here.
All right. Take
All
care.
right. You too. Thanks, John.
You're welcome. Have a good one.